I'm Kent. I'm from a small town named Santa Marta del Sur in Mexico City. I lived with my mom Maria and sister Kenya across the street from my grandparents and the rest of my family. A few days after my 6th birthday, my mom told me we were moving to the US. She felt it would be the safest thing for us. I was excited. We were going to live the Mexican dream. She saved up enough to pay a coyote to take me across La Linea in a car by myself. We reunited in Arizona and made our way to LA to stay with my uncles. Being Mexican in a foreign country was hard. When my uncles got locked up, there was no one left at home to watch me. My mom had to work, so she wasn't around. My dad promised he'll be there to help, but that never happened. School was worse. I was shamed and labeled troubled because I couldn't write or speak English. They didn't know how to support me. I was growing, and so was my anger. I was surrounded with kids who felt the same pain. At 14, I joined a gang, finally feeling like I belonged. I felt seen, maybe too seen. Instead of rehabilitating me, I was serving 18 months at a juvenile camp that taught me how to fight. I learned to be a gladiator. I not only belonged, but I actually felt like somebody. My new identity gave me a sense of confidence I didn't want to lose. Emboldened, I went back to school. Things started to feel good, but in the end, only one side could win. I fell back in, but this time I faced an adult life sentence and permanent deportation. I was only 17. I didn't even know my own purpose in life, and it was already the end for me. Being undocumented meant that there was no room for gray. The Mexican dream became a nightmare. It was the darkest and saddest moment of my life. I was hopeless. Out of nowhere, a stranger introduced himself to me. He wanted to help. I couldn't believe it. Right there and then, in jail, I finally had someone to teach me something different. All he did was tell me to read, but I was so eager for change. I immersed myself into it. Facing the possibility I'd spend the rest of my life in jail, studying kept me sane. It kept me motivated, focused, and out of trouble. I started to learn how to think differently. I was different. I got moved to ICE custody and awaited my deportation. In the last Hail Mary move, I decided to share my story with an ICE agent standing outside my cell. I spoke with conviction, giving it my whole heart. I could feel that confidence I built. I was courageous for my own good for the first time. I got lucky. My honesty moved him. He worked on my release himself. My story saved my life. I was released from ICE detention on April 9, 2014, and reunited with my mentor and family. On that same day, I walked into the organization that I would eventually work for. On my 12th day out, I wore a suit for the first time as a free person, standing at a podium in front of 500 people sharing the same story of transformation. I felt like a freedom fighter. The system isn't broken. The system is working exactly how it was intended to work, taking advantage of broken people. The Mexican dream is impossible when the American dream takes over, getting locked up in a state prison. It was on this day that I made the commitment to myself. I'd use my story to change the lives of young people stuck in the same cycles of oppressive systems I was in. I now had the skills, confidence, and hope to do so. But most importantly, I was no longer the villain I thought I was. I was my own hero.